Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mika Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host, Caliban, and yo, it's New Year Jim, everybody. I'm the lovable character that brings in the new year.
Well, hello, New Year Jim.
What's up for your New Year? Sandwiches for everyone. We're trying to get this thing started.
All right, great. And we're a couple of magical people, maybe literally, ready to moon crystal power makeup this episode. Sailor Noob is brought to you by Someday My Meat Bun Will Come When I'm Fast Asleep.
Wow.
Mika kind of messed up the melody on that one.
New Year Jims could bring some meat buns.
Could he? That would be very magical of him.
It goes to show after a month, Thanksgiving a week, and then a month of tradition and holiday, we're like, okay, anyway, back to work.
With this episode?
Don't we need somebody to shepherd in after the baby cuts the old man's head off with a scythe or whatever?
Oh, yeah, well.
We don't have anything that eases you into an entirely new year of your existence. It's like, nope, sober up, back to work, we're done, let's do this.
No, you're right. New Year's is a huge deal, and it's a huge deal in Japan. You have a huge it's a bigger deal in Japan than it is here, and New Year's is a bigger deal than Christmas is in Japan.
Yeah, take that dragon costume off, and we gotta get back to the grind.
I know, and lots
That's
of
why
yummy
New Year
food.
Jim is here.
New Year Jim
to help you out.
All right,
to ease the transition.
And
New Year Jim is he's like, yeah, it's 3:00. Go ahead, go home. He's a lax kind of boss.
Do we want that?
New Year Jim is like.
He's like, maybe make another hole in your belt, and
New Year Jim has a bat, but it's a Nerf bat.
Okay.
A playful. Okay, all right.
All
Get out of here,
right.
you scamp. He's a forgiving god.
Oh, he's a commie now. Okay, all right, I got it. I expect to see a chibi like mascot version of New Year Jim. I wish that I was a visual artist, because I would make that happen.
Yeah, New Year Jim is like the costume mascot version of him is like the otter that smashes toasters and things like that.
Yeah,
who is
exactly.
that?
God, I don't know. There's so many mascots.
It's like Cheeton or something like that.
Yeah.
The otter for it was on the John Oliver show.
Yes.
There
are many many mascots for towns throughout Japan, which is another wonderful, sometimes terrifying, but sometimes entertaining thing.
Maybe Japan can get on that. Let's see New Year Jin.
Ooh. Jin.
That's the Japanese version
It's the
of Jim.
Japanese version of Jim. Got you. Not like
in my mind it
is.
Not
like a gin bottle. Okay, got it.
What? No, there's plenty of New Year's gin. But then New Year gin comes in.
Okay.
Fat little sound of his beating his Nerf bat against his other hand, But a big smile on his face.
Yes.
Yes.
Welcoming you.
Questioning his motives, but
Well, today we are talking about episode number 56. Mamoru no Kisu Ubae, An no Shirayuki Hime Sakusen in Japanese. Still a Kiss from Mamoru, Anne's Project Snow White. The English translation and the English title, Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
Kisu. Let's talk about Kisu.
Okay.
Did the English people invent kissing? And the Japanese were like, we need a word for this. What's your word? Kiss? Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to get back to you on that.
Did kissing exist in Japan before the black ships came?
I'm positive it existed. Maybe they just like the way that kiss sounds. I'll have to get back
I wish
to you
that we
on
had the cultural bandwidth to just go, no, I like that. That sounds good. I'll take that.
Japan
What am I talking about?
We do that.
I mean, it's American English.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, we don't like the way that it sounds like this, or we don't like the way that we don't like the way that the Brits spell theater, so we're going to spell it this way. Take that.
Extra U's and extra E's and everything.
Get rid of that nonsense.
But I'm going to go to the restaurant, though.
Yeah, I know. I know. It makes no sense. I'm sure that English learners who English is not their first language.
Since we can't go to restaurants and salons and all these other places, maybe once we can finally go again, it's like, you know what? New broom sweeps clean. All right, New Year's gym. Let's come up with a new name for everything. So
there you go.
No more salon and no more restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, Japan does that too. They like French as well. There's a lot of French words in Japan, like the word for bread, pen.
Any sense?
Yeah.
And we should say that we have another patron for the show.
Yes.
At the 5-yard line, I dropped that one. Patron. The brain is an amazing place.
I curse Patreon for doing this to us.
Yes.
With their name. Because
their name is fake.
Their name is Patreon.
Patreon doesn't mean anything. No.
But the people who give money on Patreon are patrons.
I got an idea for a service. Hey, Google patronage.com.
Yeah.
Oh. What about patroner? But it's just no E at the end. No? Patreon. Anyway, we have a new patron for the show.
Yes.
Jenna Klum.
Yes.
I never know. It's either Klum or Klum. So I apologize if we get it wrong, but I'm gonna say Klum.
Okay.
And her avatar on Patreon is no help, but it is adorable because it's a kitty. It's a cute little cat.
I love kitties.
Yes.
I'm a big cat fan.
Jenna has joined at the inner senshi level.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
We're excited to have you as a member of our team.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention, too, that we have another outer senshi who's becoming an inner senshi, a Sarah Westerling patron.
Patron.
Someday it's going to be patron, and that's not right either.
Oh, patronus.
Unless we were doing this in Spanish.
Yeah, right.
And that would be exactly right. But yeah, Sarah has become an inner senshi member as well.
Thank you, Sarah.
So yeah, enjoy the expanded content and our anime reviews, which getting crazy. They're getting a little crazy.
They are getting a little crazy. We've watched some interesting ones.
I've been frustrated about the fact that we have been doing it. They're great anime, but it's like I don't want to do. You don't like have. We're having dessert first. You know what I mean?
It feels like that sometimes.
I don't want to compare like a slam dunk to, a calamari or some kind of appetizer, but I feel like we're hitting like, some of the main courses like Avatar: The Last Airbender and stuff like that.
And Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's a little much, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun to get outside our own sphere, if you will, our celestial spheres. And check out other anime. So yeah, thanks people for being patrons. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Would you like to give us a synopsis of today's episode?
We open in Usagi's room. She is studying English. Or is she?
Mm-hmm.
Luna tries to get her attention, and yep, she's asleep. Before she fell asleep, though, she was reading what looks like a romantic story. And Luna says, I wonder if she's having a romantic dream. Oh, one day I want to share a passionate kiss with a handsome tomcat. So, like, a lick? What's a cat kiss? Anyway.
Yeah, right. I think
there's
so.
A big guy across town who would take you up on that. Luna starts dancing around and she slips on a pen. She bonks Usagi on the nose. And Usagi wakes up and says, oh, I was dreaming about a gigantic meat bun. That's our girl.
Yep.
And Luna says, what has happened to the romance of young girls? Over at Juban Odyssey, Ale and An are having a reading time. And Ale says, why are we wasting time learning English? We could be out getting energy. There's a Chuck E. Cheese right down the street. And An, however, is absorbed in a copy of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. And she says to herself, love is something we should take. Like this prince guy kissing a sleeping woman. He's got the right idea. Woo, woo,
yeah, seriously.
Woo. This is an opportunity to talk with your children. I just put these in. So if you're watching this with your kids, you can just pause it and let's have a talk.
Sailor Moon says.
And she thinks, I'm going to kiss Mamoru and win his love. Okay. Next day at Hikawa Shrine, Usagi is late for the sailor meeting. No surprise. And Rei has called them all here and tells them that Mamoru is in trouble. Usagi freaks out that he might be hurt. He maybe did. But it turns out that he's going to be in a play at Juban Hall. Apparently his friends were supposed to be in this play. What friends? I've never seen him with anybody except for Motoki.
I know. And I don't know how he got roped into this.
Weirdly absent from the show.
I agree.
But they had a falling out, so now it's just him. And Rei knows about this because she saw a prayer sign that he had left when he came to the temple to pray for success.
Yes.
3 things. I didn't consider Mamoru particularly observant religiously, but I guess it's a cultural thing as well.
Yes, it is.
Number 2, this is an abuse of Rei's position as a Miku. And number 3, this is an abuse of Sailor... yes, Miko. And this is an abuse of Sailor meeting time. This is for threats to the city. Not, hey guys, there's a play and we all have to be in it.
I know.
But it doesn't matter. Usagi's down to help out. Super down. And we get a terrifying scene transition where Luna's head flies at the camera and we go into her mouth for the next scene. No more of that, please.
I kind of loved it in a weird way.
And we are with Mamoru and the girls. And Usagi says, you should do Snow White as a play. He didn't pick a play yet? Or maybe they had to throw out the play?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, Rei says, since I came up with this idea, I should be Snow White. And Usagi says, Snow White should be played by somebody kawaii.
Kawaii, yes.
And so she thinks it should be her. And then Makoto, who, let's face it, should really know better than to get involved in this triangle between Mamoru, Rei, and Usagi. But she says, hold on a minute. Snow White should be played by the person with the biggest chest. So that should be me. Huh? Custom bra? They don't even carry my size in store at Victoria's Secret. And then she does a pose like... boing.
I know!
See, she's a provocateur.
Oh,
this is what I've been saying.
Yeah,
she inserts herself into these positions. She doesn't need to be here.
No.
We're not done. Minako interjects that Snow White should be played by someone refined and elegant. 2 thumbs, this girl. And honestly, Ami makes the best argument of all that because Ami is so busy with school and cram school, she's the best choice because Snow White doesn't have that many lines. She's asleep for most of the play.
But I was like, really? Ami, you're going to fight for this?
Well,
but I
she's
love it
just
at the
doing
same
the math.
time.
Everybody has to do something, and she can just lay there. So, and in rehearsal, she can have a book above her.
Yes.
Studying. Mamoru's like, okay, but we've got, the prince and the evil queen, too. And the girls are like, you're the prince. We're trying to cast Snow White right now. Shut up. And they keep arguing. Umino and Naru are like, who are also there. They're like, you guys are being egocentric. You got to knock it off. But the girls keep arguing. And Mamoru's like, this is exactly what happened to the last group that I had. So things are going great so far. Dude, you are the star and the director of this thing and the producer. So you need to make an executive decision.
Yes.
And we go back through everyone's arguments, but non-verbally this time.
Yes.
Sped up. So they get boiled down to quick images. So Rei's like, aha. And Minako's like, ah. And Ami's like, wow. And Mako's like, boing. But then, as Natsumi arrives and says, I've got an idea. Let's pick straws to see who gets it. And didn't she try to murder these girls last episode? But whatever. Anyway.
They don't know that it's...
But she knows.
I know.
She should hate these girls.
Yeah.
She takes these... she's got like pieces of Kleenex or something. They're twisted up into straws, basically. And she takes these straws. She says, okay, so the white tip is Snow White. The red is the queen. The blue ones are dwarves. And they're all, white up colors are inside her hand. Let's go. So they draw. Usagi gets red.
Yep.
Everybody else gets a dwarf, and Natsumi gets the white one. And as she leaves, she says to herself, I tampered with the strings. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I know.
In the space room, she's trying to talk Ale into participating because they need another dwarf. But he wants to play the prince. And she's like, well, role's already filled, so later. And she takes off. He draws a cardigan. Bipero,
Yes.
who is, wow, a weird-looking clown chick. He says, go to the play and get everyone's energy. And she says, Bipero, takes off. We move to the Juban Public Hall for play rehearsal, and everyone is dressed to move. They're all in their sweats.
I know.
Mamoru's in his terrible sweats from before.
I hate it.
An is demanding, we've got to rehearse the kiss scene because it's the final scene. It has to be perfect. And Mamoru, who I guess is kind of the director but isn't asserting much authority, says, okay, all right, we'll do it one more time. An is sleeping, goes down to kiss her. And Usagi is doing the speed nail biting, which is my favorite Looney Tunes sign to show that you're really nervous. She's like, and just as they're about to kiss, An jumps the gun a bit and she throws her arms around him and he's like, cut. No, you're supposed to be asleep right now. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, we'll go back to 1. We'll do it again. Everyone's unhappy.
Yep.
We cut to after rehearsal is over. And I have a question here. There's an implication that they have not consummated this kiss. But as we join them, they're going to rehearse it again. And
I didn't
as we
get that
cut
either.
to this part, presumably they have not kissed already. So the show should be using dialogue or action to show us that something keeps interrupting this kiss, you know. We should come in with Usagi, you know, tripping or sneezing or something to stop it from happening. Then we see An mess it up, and then the pizza guy arrives or something to like keep this from. But anyway.
Yes.
We cut to the end of rehearsal. And An says to Mamoru, let me walk you home. We should get to know each other better. And Usagi has literal fire in her eyes. She does not enjoy this. Our girls are still in the rehearsal space. Everybody else is left. And Rei says, Natsumi she's taking it way too far. And Mako says that she's direct. She's going to ask her to give up the role of Snow White. And Mina says, well, you know, she got the role dishonestly anyway. And Usagi's like, what do you mean by that? Wait a minute. Everybody knows about this? Mako tells her, look, she had the friggin' paper strings and she just tore the end off of it, you know, so hers would be white. They're white paper, so, right?
Yeah.
We didn't tell you because, you know, whichever one of us played her, the rest would be jealous. And Natsumi, she doesn't have any friends. You know, she seems lonely. And Usagi's like, oh, that's nice. But she cheated! That's not fair! That's not friendship! This girl is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. Rei says, okay, geez, we'll go talk to her. We'll talk to her. So they start heading home, but on the street, they see Natsumi walking up to Hikawa Shrine. They follow her, and they can see her praying.
Yes.
Please, make this play a success. And then, to herself, she thinks, so I can kiss Mamoru.
I know.
But the girls see this, and they think, oh, no, she's really serious. Venus says, you know, she's being selfish, but all actresses are selfish. They say a selfish person makes a good actress. Okay, Mina, somebody said that to you.
Well, I just like, what do the voice actors think who have to say these lines?
Oh, they're professionals. The girls think, well, we'll all work to make this play a success. And Usagi thinks, I don't want to do it, but I don't have a choice. So, yeah, a success. Yeah. At the dress rehearsal, everybody is an animal? They're all dressed up in animal costumes, like mascots?
Yep.
No New Year's Jim is there. Snow White's dead. She's on a slab. And all the actors are dressed as animals. And they're singing about how she ate the apple and died. And the Wicked Witch is there. She's got a long nose and a hat, of course. And she's like, But Rei has had enough. She pulls off her bare head. And she's like, this show isn't for kindergartners. Why are we animals? And Mako's like, yeah, why am I a gorilla? It's self-explanatory, I think. Umino, the pink elephant, pulls off his head. He says, well, you know, I wanted to spice it up. And Natsumi says, everybody looks great. Let's keep rehearsing. Usagi, not having fun, not enjoying this. After the dress rehearsal, An is rehearsing by herself, if you know what I mean. She's kissing a pillow. Ale walks in. He's like, what the hell? And he sees her script with Snow White and the prince on the cover. And he's caught up in a reverie where he imagines kissing Usagi.
Yeah.
But he's like, good luck with your play tomorrow. And he leaves thinking, I wish I was the prince. Are you paying attention? You would be kissing An because she's playing Snow White.
I know.
You'd be kissing the witch.
Yeah.
If the witch has like, you know, a boyfriend, a special live-in gentleman friend, whatever. At the Sekino household, Usagi is rehearsing her lines in her really baggy pajamas. I know, like, the pajamas aren't form-fitting, but for some reason, these pajamas are huge for some reason.
They're baggy.
But she's rehearsing her lines as the queen. She's, mirror, mirror on the wall. And Shingo,
I know,
pops his head in, and he's like, it's pretty hammy, sis. You know, I'm taking my time to see your show tomorrow, so it better be good. And Usagi's like, nobody asked you to come. The next day, the crowd files into Juban Hall to see Snow White and the Six Dwarves. They never found somebody else.
No.
What about all those girls, the fat one and the skinny one, and all those other friends that used to hang out?
Yeah, I mean, they were background characters even then, so I think they're even further in the background now, unfortunately.
Let's put Luna in some kind of conveyance.
Oh my God.
Just a giant cat costume holding a cat. But anyway,
I love the idea of that.
The show begins, the lights go down, and come up on Bipero!
Yes!
Everyone is confused, and Bipero summons Unicycle and starts driving around the set, destroying it. Bipero, Bipero, Bipero!
Yes.
Shingo's in the audience, he's like, whoa! They're destroying the set at the start of the show, it's so avant-garde! Where's this going? As Natsumi runs out, she says, no, don't destroy the set! But Bipero throws a clown ball at her that becomes huge and knocks both her and Mamoru down. Umino has the right idea. He's like, it's a real monster. We got to get out of here. But as he does, he trips on the foot of his elephant costume and he sends Naru flying. And then she bowls all the rest of the girls down.
I know.
It's a big pile of limbs. Bipero produces a parasol, which she uses to drain the energy of the audience. And Usagi, like, wiggles her way out of the pile of limbs. And she says, Moon Crystal Power Makeup! As Bipero drains the audience, Sailor Moon gets into position and rises from a lift below the stage into her special down spot. Saying, oh, the long months and years of practice. Years? We stand in our brilliance upon the stage. This is the fruit of our labor, and you messed it up! In the name of the moon, I'll punish you! Bipero throws like a tentacle or a ribbon or something. It's connected to her parasol around Sailor Moon.
I think it's just like a weird, like, it's like the top part of her parasol, but it's like a tentacle.
And she electrocutes her with a bee 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 bee. But a white rose sails to the stage, cutting the ribbon. It's the Moonlight Knight, who says, I don't know who you are, but all the girls know who I am. What? Except for this one girl. She thinks my name is Brian. In the audience, Shingo says, whoa, wait a minute. This is a Sailor Moon play? Oh, Britta's in this? He's looking at his
program. I love it.
All four inner senshi appear transformed and introduce themselves dramatically. They've all got a little thing that they do, describing themselves. But I thought it was interesting. Venus says, the legendary mask is a thing of the past, and the face revealed is also beautiful. She's talking about her, like, previous career as Sailor V?
I think so.
Stop with the foreplay show. Let's just get into this. Come on. Mars chants the Kuji-in and hits her with an Ofuda. Bam! Mercury hits her with the Shaban spray freezing, and Sailor Moon gives Bipero the Moon Princess halation, and that's it for Bipero. The audience loves it. The Moon Knight Light says, an amazing finale. A girl's face in the spotlight is beautiful. Adieu. And he's just disappearing. He's flown off stage on a giant crescent moon. Like, where did that come from?
I don't know, but it's fantastic.
Like 5 minutes before, he's just giving like, 1,000 yen piece to a stagehand. He's like, okay, you let this thing down. And then you wheel it up when I'm done. All right. The audience is going insane. The girls take a bow. The show is a success. I guess that was like 3 minutes. We paid for that. Back at Juban Odyssey, Anne is furious with Ale. She says, why did you send a Cardian? And he says, did you forget our mission to collect energy? And he leaves a sobbing on to her grief, thinking to himself, I wish I could have played the prince.
I know.
Dude, did you read the script?
I don't think he did. He just looks
They
at the
don't know
cover.
English. Maybe he tried and he got it screwed up.
Do you have any questions about this episode?
I have some comments.
Okay, let's hear them.
They're on the stage again. They're in my neighborhood.
Yeah, yes.
And just as somebody who's acted in plays and rehearsed plays and directed plays, just feel like I wonder if people who work in TV have worked in plays ever.
Because this is not really what happened.
I mean, I've been a part of
play.
like community productions that didn't have a lot of authority and leadership in them that have fallen apart.
Yeah, for sure.
So I can kind of see that happening here.
Mamoru is not a great director.
Well,
he does not
no,
take charge.
But he's also, he's 18, 19, so he doesn't know what he's doing.
I know. And then, like,
why is he doing this in the first place?
I want to know why he's doing it in the first place. I want to know who his friends are and why they like what happened with all that. I know there was infighting, but I want to know, why is Umino in charge of the costumes? Who decided that idea?
He's in charge of the costumes. For sure.
Well,
He's in the show because he's in charge of the costumes.
But
you don't want this guy.
No, I know.
But he's
right?
like, oh, can I be in the show? If you do the costumes, so he's got to be in the show.
Yeah, but I do think it's a nice touch that it was Umino who did the costumes and not Sumi, because like all the other girls, like Usagi included, do not look cute. They're not like princess pretty, and even like the evil queen in like the Disney version and probably most other versions of like Snow White is beautiful and gorgeous most of the time.
Well, they're trapped by having at least 9 cast members.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see if it was something else where there's only like a couple principals and then Usagi draws a straw, gets to be in the show, and then Rei has to do the costumes, and she puts Usagi in like an unflattering costume.
Right.
That's an unexplored bit. Mm-hmm. But because this is Snow White, you have to have, there is a kiss. I guess Sleeping Beauty has a kiss. You could have done that.
Yeah, sure.
3 fairies.
Evil queen,
princess. And the fairies could double as the king and queen or something at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, those kind of rivalries play out. I also like the idea of them rehearsing, and maybe they were rehearsing and they were, just saying, oh, we'll just do the kiss on the day.
That's possible.
Because that's a real like junior high and high school thing.
Yes.
I've been in a lot of junior high and high school plays where you're supposed to kiss, and it's like, oh, and then we'll kiss later. And it's like, and then when you become an adult, you just kiss.
Well,
because it's not a big deal.
I had a lot
and
of people.
I'm not like telling like 12-year-olds to
not.
just go out and kiss everybody, especially if like I know a lot of people whose first kiss was on stage. Because,
mine was.
Yeah, right. Because that's, so I guess it is a big deal for young people, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be, but it is not a big deal when you're an adult. Mm-hmm. And as somebody who has had a lot of romantic lead parts on stage, it's, you just kiss. It's not a big deal. I've kissed at auditions.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I've had people ask me before, like, how do you kiss in a stage play? Like, how do you do it? I was like, you kiss. Like, people have this misconception that there's a stage kiss, that you kiss behind hands.
Right.
That you put your hands up by your mouth and then you make a kissing sound or something.
It's the kiss version of under the clothes over the bra.
Like there's kiss choreography. Like there's fight choreography. No, you really kiss.
Yeah.
That's how you do a stage kiss. You really kiss.
Yeah, and if the run is particularly long, sometimes you make a game out of it. So, I was in a Shakespeare show, and I was one of the couples in the show.
Yeah.
And then it was like, let's see who can make each other hornier. Like, as we do this kiss thing.
Wow.
But I mean, like, for them, it's a big deal. And it's clear, they play up the fact that it's, oh my God, I get to, like, this is gonna mean something.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That if she kisses him, then he's gonna love her.
Right.
Because love is something that you take.
Yeah, they got that. But I thought, I guess like the whole, I can confirm the experience of on a set full of 13 and 14-year-olds. Like,
sure.
It's a big deal that somebody's going to kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They got that right, I guess. Yes. A 14-year-old alien.
I know.
14 in Earth years.
Right. Well,
on my planet.
We don't know.
900 years.
Yet. Unconfirmed. Yeah. So Caliban, you finally show your face. just in time for me to blow it off.
It's fitting you chose to hide in this abandoned movie theater, Mika and Hana, because for you, the show's over.
Big talk, but soon you'll be as dead as all the well-loved celebrities we lost this year.
When I'm done, they'll be cleaning you off the walls like COVID-19.
Wait, where's your face mask?
I thought we were going to fight outside.
Oh, come on!
I mean, if the murder hornets aren't out there still.
Take this.
If you want to watch HBO Max on my phone.
I'll start cooking some beans in this old boot. Just Enough Trope. News, reviews, and apocalyptic views every Monday on the Just Enough Trope Network.
Won't the 5G kill us?
Shh. For Kyoro Miru, or Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, today we are going to talk about Kabuki theater in Japan. And I'll tell you why. So in this episode, Usagi and friends put on a production of Snow White, or at least they attempt to. Throughout what becomes their performance, a play about Sailor Moon and the Senshi, they actually use some performance elements found in Kabuki. And we'll talk about more of that after we dive into what Kabuki theater is. Kabuki is a traditional Japanese dance drama. Kabuki theater is known for the stylization of its performance, the largely glamorous costumes, and for the elaborate kumadori makeup worn by some of its performers. The kanji for Kabuki from left to right means sing, dance, and skill. Kabuki is therefore sometimes translated as, quote, the art of singing and dancing.
So it's, hey, did you go to that sing dance skill last night? I got some tickets. It was pretty good. Like, what is Kabuki? This just means sing dance skill.
The word Kabuki is thought to come from the verb kabuku, which means to learn or to be out of the ordinary. Kabuki can be interpreted as avant-garde or bizarre theater. The phrase kabuki mono referred originally to those who were strangely dressed. It is frequently translated into English as strange things or the crazy ones.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, right. And I'm just picturing young kids wearing kabuki costumes and makeup, and referred to the manner of dress worn by gangs of samurai.
Whoa.
Yeah. The history of Kabuki began in 1603 when Izumo no Okuni, possibly a Miko of Izumi Tashiya or Izumo Grand Shrine, started performing with an ensemble of female dancers in a new technique of dance drama on a provisional stage in the dry bed of the Kamo River in Kyoto. At this time, the Tokugawa shogunate was in control of Japan. That will become important later on. Much of the interest in Kabuki in this era was due to the body suggestive themes presented by many troupes of dancers. This attraction was exacerbated further by the fact that many performers were also participated in sex work.
Oh.
For this reason, Kabuki was also known as prostitute Kabuki during this time. Kabuki became a familiar form of entertainment in the red light districts of Japan, especially in Yoshiwara, which is the registered red light district in Edo. The general appeal of Kabuki frequently meant that a diverse crowd of varying social classes often assembled to watch performances, a unique experience that happened nowhere else in Edo. Kabuki theaters became well-known as a destination to both see and be seen in terms of fashion and style, as the audience, often presenting a number of socially low but economically wealthy merchants, generally utilized a performance as a way to present the fashion trends. So it was kind of a way to be like, oh, look at me, here I am, I'm upcoming merchant, and this is my fashion sense, and that sort of thing.
It's weird that the Western theater and Eastern theater have so much in common in terms of their development. I don't know why it always starts with prostitutes as actors, and then everybody, clearly like the middle class or the burgeoning sort of merchant class is you can do things you can do masks for royalty all you want, but until you start doing it for the commoners and the groundlings, like
Yeah.
you're never going to blow up wide.
Well,
And so
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Despite Kabuki's popularity, the ruling shogunate did not like the Kabuki performances. The audience at a Kabuki performance frequently mixed varying social classes, and the social swagger of the merchant classes, who managed a lot of Japan's economy at the time, were viewed to have ingrained upon the status of the samurai classes, both in appearance and wealth. So the shogunate did not like this. In an effort to suppress Kabuki's popularity, women's Kabuki, known as Onna Kabuki, was banned in 1629 for being too salacious. Yes. After this ban, young boys began performing in Wakashu Kabuki, which was also soon banned. Kabuki shifted to adult male actors called Yaro Kabuki, literally young man Kabuki, in the mid 1600s. Adult male actors continued to portray both female and male characters, and Kabuki held onto its popularity, enduring as a key facet of the Edo period urban lifestyle.
see, you just got to get think about the propaganda potential, right?
Sure.
Like you just don't. You start spreading the Rio around, and you go like, all right, you've been doing like the crazy lake spirit or something. Here's a new play I'm commissioning. It's called The Really Cool Leader That Everybody Loves a Lot.
Yeah, right.
Tell the story of how Tokugawa united the country, and do that.
Yeah, that would, yes, absolutely. I don't know how much of that actually went on, and we'll get into that in a minute, but male actors who portrayed the women's roles are known as onagata, literally female role, or oyama. Young, typically adolescent men were still preferred to portray women's roles because of their less noticeably masculine looks and their higher timbre of their voices. The roles of adolescent men in Kabuki, known as wakashu, were also portrayed by young men, frequently chosen for their good looks. This became a common policy, and wakashu were frequently presented in a salacious context. So, yeah.
You're like, hey, sexy's fine, but get those women out of here.
Apparently. I don't know, man. The focus of Kabuki productions also progressively began to spotlight drama as well as dance. However, the body character of Kabuki productions continued, with male actors also taking part in sex work for both female and male customers.
Fair enough.
Might as well be fair. Audiences often became unruly, and fights sometimes broke out, occasionally over the favors of an especially popular or attractive actor, leading the shogunate to ban first onagata and then wakashu roles for a brief period of time. Both bans were lifted by 1652. Now we are going to talk about some of the aspects of Kabuki theater. Feudal laws during the Edo period outlawed anyone reproducing samurai or nobility's looks or the utilization of opulent fabrics, so the Kabuki costumes were an innovative new designs to the general. They brought innovative new designs to the general public, and even setting fashion trends that are still influential today. Although the earliest Kabuki costumes sadly no longer exist, several otoko, which were the male roles, and onagata Kabuki costumes today are created based on ukiyo-e prints, which we talked about on a previous episode.
Right.
And also with working with families who have been in the Kabuki profession for generations. The kimonos the actors wear for their costumes are usually made with vivid colors and numerous layers. To keep in touch with the Japanese beauty standards from the Edo period, otokos and onogatas both wear hakama, which are the traditional Japanese pleated pants that tie at the waist. And they also both wear padding at their stomach to produce a rectangular shaped torso. So a female character could be wearing a kimono and you wouldn't necessarily see the hakama, but the hakama and the padding would be underneath that.
Huh.
It's to create this idealistic, stylized look.
Everybody's square.
Yes,
you're all refrigerators. Come on.
Exactly. Kabuki makeup is another design element that makes Kabuki unique. Rice powder is utilized to make the white Oshiroi base for the characteristic stage makeup. This is the same white makeup that we previously talked about in episode 51 that women wore during the Heian period, which was 794 to 1185. And Kumidori intensifies or exaggerates facial lines to create dramatic animal or supernatural masks. The color of the Kumidori is an expression of the character's constitution. Red lines are utilized to connote heroism, righteousness, or passion, and other positive attributes. Blue or black, wickedness, envy, and other negative attributes. Purple is nobility, and green, the supernatural.
Ooh.
Yes, so your ghosts and, kami, gods, that sort of thing. The three main genres of kabuki plays are jidaimono, which are historical or pre-Sengoku period, which was 1467 to 1615. So they take place during that time period. Seiwamono, which are domestic or post-Sengoku tales, and shosagoto, which are dance pieces. Jidaimono or historical plays are set within the setting of major events in Japanese history.
How do you do that if you can't depict royalty?
Well, I'll get to that.
Oh.
So apparently So severe censorship laws were going on during the Edo period and forbidding the depiction of contemporary events, especially forbidding criticizing the shogunate or making them look bad. However...
Right, but once the shogun is an unbroken line for hundreds of years, how do you do somebody's great-great-great-grandpa? Is that okay?
Right, I know, right? So
they have all the swords. Why is it so important that they don't have a freedom of the press and they got all this censorship and it's like, you guys, you have there's no guns, you've got all the swords.
I know.
Why just let people...
So in charge.
You have to have a release valve.
I don't like this.
You got to let the pressure out.
I know.
That's like, in England, both today, but also, going back to old-timey days, you could... Punch and Judy, you could say or you could write whatever you want for the most part. The Puritans weren't so hot on that. But that's how the press, that's why the press is so like, look at this. Oh, can you believe this? And oh boy, because it's like, you've still got this monarchy in place that chops people's heads off until just recently.
Right. No, exactly. So, I mean,
uptight.
This censorship enforcement varied widely over the years.
Okay.
So, exasperating the censors, in fact, many plays utilize these historical frameworks as metaphors for contemporary events. The play Kanedehon Chushingura, which is one of the most famous plays in the kabuki repertoire, is an excellent example of this. It is set in the 1330s, but it actually portrays the then contemporary 18th century event of the Revenge of the 47 Ronin.
Yeah, but nobody's going to get mad about that. That was a long time ago.
But the time, it was
if the contemporary context was the shogun or some important person is like a real a-hole, and maybe somebody should 47 Ronin this guy. Then I can see the problem there.
Yeah, right, exactly.
He's got a big mustache, and it's like, I don't remember the historical figure Lord having a big mustache.
I know. Unlike jidaimono, which usually concentrated upon the samurai class, seiwamono concentrated predominantly upon the commoners. Seiwamono usually depicted themes of romance and family drama. Some of the most famous seiwamono are love-suicide plays, adapted from works by the bunraku playwright Chikamatsu. And bunraku is the Japanese puppet theater, the traditional Japanese puppet theater.
Right.
These center on romantic couples who cannot be together in life due to various conditions and decide to be together in death in the afterlife.
Is the play them getting to the afterlife?
I don't know that it really shows them in the afterlife. I have a kind of a feeling, I don't know 100%, but I get the feeling it's that they die and then you're supposed to think that.
No, right. Yeah, it's a
right.
Romeo and Juliet situation.
Yeah, but there are a lot of these. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So take from that what you will. Another a major element of Kabuki is the mie, in which the performer holds a picturesque pose to set up his character. And Cal brought this up in episode 52 because the little girl who is a huge Sailor Moon fan, her name is Mie.
Right.
And at this point, the actor's house name, which is and the Japanese name for that is Yago, is sometimes heard in a loud shout called kakegoe from a knowledgeable audience member.
This is the Rocky Horror part of the show.
Right, exactly. The intent of which is to...
Slut!
Wow! The intent of which is to express and intensify the audience's esteem of the actor's achievement. And even greater praise can be attributed by shouting the name of the actor's father.
Whoa.
Because Kabuki is something that is traditionally passed down from within the family.
Sure.
And like there's long lines of Kabuki performers.
Once again, sarcasm could come in here. If they don't like the show, they're like, Takeshi, yeah, great. Was that a sarcastic shout? I'm losing them.
Speaking of audience interaction, traditionally there was a continuous interaction between the actors and the audience. The performers often stopped the play to talk to the audience, and the latter responded with appropriate praise or clapped their hands according to a prescribed formula. To this day, audience members also call out the names of their favorite performers throughout the performance. These audience members who shout are seated on the third floor only and are called the
Peanut Gallery.
Well, they are called Omuko, which means far away.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the Kabuki elements seen within this episode of Sailor Moon? So Sailor Moon enters via a trap door, which is a popular entrance in Kabuki. She also strikes a pose, a mie, which while she strikes a pose every time she transforms, it is held longer than usual in this episode. She also speaks in a distinct rhythmic fashion, another element of Kabuki. In the background, while she is talking, you can hear the musical clacking of wooden sticks.
Yeah.
One of the three categories of Kabuki music is ki and suke. Ki and suke describe the distinguishing sounds made by striking two square oak boards. When the boards are struck together, they create the ki sound. When they are struck against a hard board, they create the suke sound. So these two oak boards are called Hiyoshigi. It is a simple Japanese musical instrument. It consists of two pieces of hardwood or bamboo. They're usually about an inch all the way around, and they're square. They are often connected by an ornamental rope as well.
Now it's just an MP3 file.
I know.
You just hit play.
Right. Sometimes they are struck slowly at first, then faster and faster. Hiyoshigi are utilized in both Kabuki and Bunraku. Then, of course, the senshi each have a speech when they enter. They both do a mie, and the Hiyoshigi are heard between each senshi, accentuating the beginning of a new introduction. Then they have a mie all together. I don't know if they actually do that in Kabuki. I don't think they do. But anyways, they pose all together. And then the Moonlight Knight's speech at the end is also spoken in a very distinct rhythmic fashion. And then you reminded me, so he flies away on a moon. Now, flying away on a moon isn't necessarily specifically Kabuki, but they did put people on wires and fly them over the stage and have them do entrances and exits that way. So okay. I think that's what that is.
Okay.
And that's just a brief overview. There's so much to talk about with Kabuki, so if you're interested, I would say go look more into it. There's a lot of history, a lot more elements that we didn't even get a chance to talk to.
Someday we'll have to talk about No Theater.
Yes.
No.
You how long have you pocketed that one?
I've been doing that for years.
Itadakimasu with Usagi. What did Usagi eat in this episode? Usagi woke up from her dream and said to Luna, quote, "And I was just dreaming about eating a gigantic meat bun." So, a meat bun is called nikuman in Japanese. Niku means meat. Nikuman is the Japanese name for the Chinese baozi or bao, made from flour dough and filled with cooked ground pork, beef, or other ingredients. It is a type of chukaman, or literally Chinese-style steamed bun, which is what that means, also known in English as pork buns. It's predominantly pork, like traditionally ground pork.
Is there like a Japanese state fair where you can see like a giant, the 3 feet wide meat bun? Do they ever, they make like, it's the world's biggest pizza, and things like, 10 feet wide or whatever.
I don't know if that's actually a really fantastic question. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of like street festival that like,
they carry a giant meat bun through the streets.
I don't know, or like their whole shtick is they have giant versions of food. Or
it's
something.
kind of diminishing returns at some point, because like the whole thing about a meat bun is, you can eat it in 2 or 3 bites, and you're gonna get some dough and some meat in every bite. But if you had like a giant, it's the inverse square law. If you had a giant meat bun, at some point you're just swimming in meat in the middle.
No, you're absolutely right.
It's like if you make that giant pizza, it's like, here's a piece, and it's as long as your arm, and it's like up to the elbow in pepperoni and cheese. It's like, I get the idea.
Right?
Like, I'm just eating a pizza at this point.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Nikuman are steamed and are frequently sold as street food. They are a very popular dish during festivals. During the winter months, nikuman are available at Japanese convenience stores where they are kept hot.
like on the hot dog roller, but it's like the meat buns are
it's like a glass
thing.
Case in there that they keep hot.
Sure.
They have it on little racks and little heats coming in, and you can get a nikuman. Yeah.
Probably not as good as like freshly made.
Probably not.
But at 2 a.m.,
right,
they hit the spot.
Exactly. There are some varieties of nikuman. Butaman is basically equivalent to nikuman, but this name is more common in the Kansai area specifically. Anman, these buns are filled with azuki beans. Lard and sesame oil are usually added to increase the flavor and the taste to the dough. Similar to the Chinese dosha bao. Kareman is they use turmeric or food coloring is added to the outside of the bun to make it look yellow. The ingredients are very similar to the nikuman or pork buns, but there's curry style flavoring included as well. There is also curryman similar to curry bread or dry curry. And there is also pizzaman. It is
God,
no. It is a steamed bun with cheese, tomato sauce, and sometimes additional toppings.
It's calzone.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Get in the P zone.
In the P zone. The villain gauge, we rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. The Cardian for this episode is Bipero. Bipero's name is a reference to Poirot, which is a stock character in both Commedia dell'arte and pantomime. This character originated in the late 17th century Italian troupe of performers in Paris called Comédie-Italienne. Pierrot is the smaller version of Pierre, which translates to Peter in English by using the suffix O. Poirot's character in popular culture and in all different mediums in which he appears, such as theater, fiction, poetry, visual arts, and film, is the sad clown yearning for love of Columbine, who typically leaves him heartbroken and chooses Harlequin instead. Poirot is performed unmasked with white face makeup. The character dons a loose-fitting white blouse with large buttons down the middle and wide pants. At times, his outfit has a frilled collar and a hat, typically with a close-fitting top with a wide round brim, more infrequently with a cone-shaped hat. But most often, since his reimagination by performer Jean-Gaspard Debarau, I hope I'm saying that right,
Debarau, yeah.
In the 1820s, he dons neither a collar nor hat, only a black skull cap.
And David Bowie.
And David Bowie.
In the video Ashes to Ashes.
Yes, exactly, which I watched while I was doing this because David Bowie.
Interesting fact, he's also often pictured with a moon, a crescent moon.
That is interesting. I wonder if that had something to do with them picking that character specifically.
It could be. I'm not sure what the tradition is there necessarily, but yeah, it's the sort of Pierrot lunaire is a common motif.
I wonder if it's sometimes the moon has this interpretation within media to be kind of like sad and longing, and there's this kind of romanticism around that as well. I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Possible.
The defining characteristic of Poirot is his naivete. He is seen as a fool, often the butt of pranks, yet nonetheless trusting. Bipero is also a reference to the Japanese word for clown, which is derived from Poirot and is Piero, which is spelled Piero. So there you go. The B in her name is most likely meant to be the same B in the title of the show, Bishoji Senshi Seira Moon. Bishojo means beautiful girl, usually not yet an adult. So B means beautiful or pretty and is commonly utilized for female-related terms. So I guess Bipero means beautiful Pierrot.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, I mean, this is, this is a girl Pierrot. It's a hot Pierrot.
Right.
This isn't your, your Pagliacci situation. This
I know, right?
This is cute. She's got the baggy pants.
She does have the baggy pants.
But she's...
Or at least one pant leg.
Yeah, she's got one pant, and then, a leg on the other side.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, if we're going to do major arcana, I'm kind of thinking B. Perot needs to be the fool. And I think I said that for, the last episode, but I think I need to change it to B. Perot.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you're going to get clown, right? Especially not... an Harlequin, a Perot is definitely going to be, the tarot fool.
That's what I think too.
Yeah, but again, this is okay. So this is like I've railed against us having to do this at all throughout the entire sequence.
You can blame me,
but this is the perfect example that proves that it doesn't mean anything, because this is the most perfect match we've gotten, and therefore we should see how it is the perfect match, and it's literally just the significance is in both the Tarot and here are the same, but this character has no arc.
Nope.
There's nothing to this character. Other characters have been like, I'm a monster or I'm an animal, and this is literally a person who could have some kind of arc or something that represents, the fool in the tarot or something like that, and it doesn't, and so therefore it is completely coincidental match. there's no match at all. They're working off their own set of cards here. This does not correlate to any earthly tarot, but they're aliens.
I know, but they like their mythology and they like their significant characters.
Sure, yeah. We still haven't.
And they pull from all different.
We still haven't closed that gap as to why they have.
I don't know that we will.
Alien cards that reference human mythology and culture, but as far as staying on that tip, I mean this card clearly references the Perot of
Yes.
the Commedia dell'arte. So whoever made these cards.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, exactly. Where did they come from?
Right.
I do like that in an episode where they are putting on a play, the carding is a reference to a stock theatrical character.
That's
cool.
That fits.
Yeah. Of course, she says variations of her name, including BP and beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Just on repeat. Her character design, she has skin as white as snow, or maybe as white as grease paint. She has a single dark small triangle under each eye, as well as several painted on eyelashes. She also has a red clown nose and large red exaggerated lips and completely white eyes.
Yes.
Not creepy at all.
Yeah.
This is not going to add to my fear of clowns.
Yeah. If you're afraid of clowns, this isn't going to help.
Yeah, seriously.
Kind of sinister.
I know.
What's with the hat?
I don't know. I don't have any good reason for it.
The spiky
honestly.
hat.
It looks kind of like a hard hat to me with spikes on it.
Yeah.
And I don't really know. I have no idea why.
It looks kind of like Mercury's hat, the mythologically.
Oh, like it's winged, except it's spiked.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Well, sometimes the wings are, feathery, but sometimes they're just, their horns
signified
or their ornamentation on the helmet. Okay.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like she flies or anything. I mean, she flies across the stage, but she has curly purple or magenta hair and a style that my sister and I call triangle hair.
Triangle hair.
We have lived it, so we can call it that.
That's your word.
Yeah, that's my word. Her outfit appears to be more Harley Quinn inspired than Poirot. Her sleeves and her right pants leg are in the bright green and dark blue diamond pattern, which is very recognizable as Harley Quinn. The bodice of her shirt is mostly bright green and fans out in a short skirt at the end and has 2 yellow stripes down the front, 2 large red buttons, and a large red bow in the middle. She also has red flats whose toes curve up into a point, and she's wearing that yellow hat with 4 long spikes on the front.
Yeah.
Or one in the front, one in the back, and then on both sides. And my note says, looks like a demonic hard hat. So there you go. Interestingly enough, in an interview with Norio Sasaki, a Sailor Moon episode director, they said that the initial inspiration for Biparo was Doink the Clown, who was a WWF wrestler who was popular when the show was being produced.
Yeah.
Cal, are you familiar with Doink the Clown, and do you see the inspiration?
I absolutely.
Okay.
Am. Yeah.
Okay.
Matt Osborne played Doink the Clown. And he died in 2013, like a lot of wrestlers early.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. He also played Big Bubba during his career. It was, he's just like a WWF, never like a really big, draw on the card, but was just a mid-level guy. And yeah, Doink the Clown was probably his most successful gimmick.
But it's funny though, because I guess I see the face makeup the most is where I see the inspiration, because he had bright lime green, crazy curly clown hair.
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't the same color.
They had to make it Biparo and make it be,
exactly.
A sexy girl, but no, the garish color scheme and everything. Yeah, I can totally see it.
Yeah.
No helmet though.
No helmet.
I couldn't have that in the ring.
No. Oh, that would have been bad. Lots of injuries on that. I know that. So I'm ready to rate her. I know that she is a clown, but I feel like her design and presence is very memorable. I like how she made her entrance, how she rode on the unicycle and destroyed the set. However, she lets all of the Senshi do a speech, which was fantastic, don't get me wrong, and she just let them talk.
She knows the rules.
And didn't do anything.
It's performance.
I know, right? So I'm going to give her 3 out of 5 dark stars.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a 3 as well. we're just, maybe I need to start shifting everybody up by one, because it's becoming clear that in the Ale and On era, the Yoma are less important, have less presence than they did previously.
They have less presence than they did,
and
yeah.
They're more tools than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Maybe we should go just by the impact that they make. But this was fine. As a showman or showwoman,
yes.
I wish that, again, the conceit of being on the stage and the show having to go on and everything like that.
Yes.
Having her be maybe involved in sort of sabotaging the show, and it might have been. There's all kind. I don't want to come away from an episode thinking of all things they could have done. Do you know what I mean? And
no, nobody wants that.
So therefore, I can only really rate her on her effectiveness and her look, and I think that'd probably be a 3.
Yeah. For Sabu or Dabu, where we talk about the most interesting differences between the sub and the dub. In the dub, the Cardian's name, Bipero, was changed to Poirot. All right. There you go.
It's less to explain.
Yeah, exactly. In the dub, the whole scene that was the pre-title card where Luna talked to Usagi while she was sleeping, wondered if she was dreaming about romance, and then was told she was dreaming about Nikuman, was cut, which is unfortunate because that is a fun scene.
Yeah, but it's like Luna's only involvement, except for helping us transition that one scene.
I know, right? I know. In the dub, the scene where Rei hands Usagi Mamoru's prayer for the play to be successful, the close-up shot was cut. These wooden placards are called EMA, EMA, which literally translates to picture horse.
Picture horse?
Yeah, and I'll get to it.
Okay,
they are widespread throughout Japan and are common at both Shinto shrines and Buddhist temples where the worshippers write their wish or prayer on them.
Okay.
The ema are then hung up at the shrine where it is believed that the kami will obtain them. Usually they are 15 centimeters wide and 9 centimeters high, and they frequently display images or are shaped like animals or symbols from the Eastern zodiac or Shintoism, or the specific shrine or temple where the ema was purchased. In ancient Japan, people would give horses to the shrine for good favor with the kami. Oh. Horses were very expensive at the time.
Their currency.
Yeah. Over time, this was shifted to a wooden placard with a picture of a horse, and later to still to the various ema sold today for the same intention.
So it would be a placard, but it's like it costs as much as a horse or something. You're like, why is there why does it represent a horse? Because you're donating a horse, you just donate the money that a horse would cost, and then here's your horse placard.
Well, people, no, I don't think they would donate the same amount of it would not be equal to a actual horse. But basically, you purchase this placard from the temple or shrine, and you're giving money to support them, but you're also hoping to get your wish seen by kami, right? And fulfilled.
Yeah.
So the same idea is there, right? You are giving money to the shrine or temple so you can hopefully get your wish fulfilled.
Sure.
So I think that's why that there is then a painting of a horse or a picture of a horse put on the ema. So, and that's why they are called that. Ema are ritually burned at special events, emblematic of the release of the prayer from the inscriber.
Sure.
In the original episode, Mako says that she should play Snow White because she has the largest chest. In the dub, Lita says that she should get the role because she has the most talent. This alteration created a joke within the Sailor Moon fandom, with talent being an uncommon substitution for chest size. It's still
that's sticking around.
No, it sticks around. It's prevalent within the Sailor Moon fandom.
Around. I mean, I've been waiting for cousins to show up, but I can take talent in the meantime.
Yes, run with it, run with it, my friend. In the dub, the scene where there was a close up of Mako sticking out her torso to show off or compare chest sizes, that was cut as well, of course. So now we are up to where we rate the episode. I like that they all fight over the role of Snow White, including Ami. I really enjoy how ridiculous this entire episode is. There's some great bits. Amino's great idea of them wearing ridiculous costumes, how Usagi is dressed as the evil queen in disguise the entire time, and how the entire thing gets ruined by a jealous alien and an evil clown. Mostly, I really enjoy the play that they end up putting on. So I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 roses.
That's pretty generous. I'm going to be mean and give it a 3.
All right. Okay.
I also enjoyed all the things that you mentioned, but I don't know, just maybe because I have been a part of that world, I just see the potential for things that they could have done that they didn't end up doing.
No, I understand.
I think that there could have been a little more that they could have milked out of it. Although, I did appreciate, now that I know some of the cultural things particular to Japan, that were included. I do like those, but the fact that there is, and I guess it didn't exist when they were doing this, but there is literally a Sailor Moon stage show now.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of sort of meta bits that you could have thrown in or created. Maybe they'll end up on the stage one day again and they'll be able to exploit more. But I think this is probably just a solid 3 for me.
All right, fair. I'm glad we don't, but if we gave 0.5, I probably would have given it a 3.5. But anyways, my English title is The Fairest Contest, Play Rescue.
Play Rescue. That's on Bravo, right?
Yeah, right.
I already used Stage Fight, so I can't use that. And Snow Business sounds like something that would be on a ski slope, so maybe we'll keep that in the pocket. So I guess I'd have to go with The Show Must Go On.
Oh, no!
I think you.
Oh, my God.
I've got a lot of talent.
That's, yes, you do. Next episode, we are talking about episode number 57. Hokago ni goyojin, nerawareta Usagi in Japanese. After school trouble. Usagi is a target, the English translation, and the English title, Detention Doldrums.
Detention Doldrums. Wait a minute. They have detention? Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about that on the next show.
Yeah.
But did they just invent it? Because how is Usagi just now getting detention?
I feel like this is the first time they've ever mentioned it. I feel like she's had to stay after class for stuff, but I don't...
To clean the erasers or
right,
whatever.
Right, or finish homework or something like that. Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I mean, I guess we can speculate
it in the future.
Yes. Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Akemeshite omedetou!